Time to focus in on Alaska and Hawaii as we examine the satellite vantage point over most of the western United States. High and dry, a little disturbance tracking on in here. Alaska continues to see pretty much quiet weather, but a little bit of light rain and breezy conditions in the Aleutians. And in the Hawaiian Islands, they're still seeing that trade winds kind of subsiding right now. They're looking for some rain. In Honolulu, they'd love to see some rain. They've only had about an inch and 2/3. Normally up to this time of the year they should have about 11.5 inches, well below normal. And it looks like some mid to high level deck of clouds will continue to scoot across the area. It'll squeeze out some more passing showers. Otherwise, the Hawaiian Islands, as always, will look gorgeous. At low and trough will eventually drift to the northwest. Big dome of high pressure cold front cooling things down after breaking a record yesterday in Point Barrow, Alaska, all-time record high of 79. That's what it is right now in Honolulu, 79. Hilo, 72 degrees. 53 in Barrow. Boy, they've cooled down. Yesterday, again, 79. Their normal high this time of year is only 45. Fairbanks, 69. Down at Juneau, 65 degrees, and Anchorage reporting 60, so the record warmth in the north slope looks like it's coming to an end, returning back to normal.
Ever watch the Weather Channel Florida forecast and wish you could be there, relaxing under a palm tree in the sun? Your wish could come true by entering the Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes, brought to you by the Weather Channel and by Damp-Rid Moisture Absorber products. One lucky family of 4 will jet away to the Walt Disney World Dolphin, a luxurious tropical fantasy land located in the heart of the Walt Disney World Resort in Central Florida. Explore the fanciful dolphin and all the magic of Disney, Epcot Center, the Disney MGM Studios theme park, the Magic Kingdom Park, and more. To enter, write your name, address, and phone number on a 3x5 card and send to Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes, P.O. Box 104, Dallas, Georgia 30132. Early entrants will receive a free Magic Disc Air Freshener from Damp-Rid. Make your wish come true. Enter the Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes. Then tune in daily for the Weather Channel Florida forecast. Brought to you this summer by Damp-Rid Moisture Absorber products.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. You're watching the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
Well, flooding continues to be a big concern for the folks in Iowa, southward of Missouri, Kansas. We had widespread heavy rain last night. Many areas in Kansas had between 1 to 3 inches, and in several locations, rainfall totals getting close to 7 to 8 inches, especially in the southwest part of the state. Also around Russell, Kansas, we had over 6 inches of rain. The heaviest rain is now in eastern Kansas, as you'll see in a moment when we look at radar. Over the northeast, it's warming up again, but already some big thunderstorms have erupted in the daytime heat. 89 as you head north towards New York City, down near Philadelphia, and westward towards Harrisburg, especially around Lancaster County, Montgomery County. We're looking at some very intense thunderstorms. In the south, Atlanta slowly rising in terms of the temperatures today, 83 degrees. It's 91 at Tampa, also 91 in Brownsville and South Texas, and some 60s and 70s along the South California coastline. There's a look at what's happening. Now you can see we have this front which comes through the mid-Atlantic, an area of low pressure around Detroit. Then the front kind of works its way eventually down towards the southern plains before heading back into the Rockies. So all along this wavy front, we have several clusters of thunderstorms scattered about. In the west, things are rather cloudy. Now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for a large part of eastern Pennsylvania, just about all of New Jersey, up into the lower Hudson Valley, New York, and then coming south, including the Baltimore, Washington area. And you'll see why in just a moment. Let's go west, though. I'll show you some of these clouds over western Washington and Oregon on the satellite view. You can see they're pretty well covered by the cloud cover today over western Washington and Oregon. East of the mountains, a few breaks here, then more clouds over the mountains in northeast Oregon on up into east central Washington and northern Idaho. Yesterday, we had some very heavy rain reported, especially during the early evening hours, anywhere from 1 to 3.2 inches of rain surrounding Seattle, especially in southeastern Snohomish, eastern King counties. We had very heavy rain reports of a couple of funnel clouds in the Seattle area. Some hail with the storms in southwestern Washington early in the afternoon. And the reason for all of this stormy weather, there's a big pocket of very cold air, cold especially for this time of the year. We normally don't see the amount of cold air that we're seeing right now over the Pacific Northwest at the high altitudes, but we have it, and it looks like today could be another day where we find some showers and maybe some more thunderstorms with localized heavy rainfall. To the south, though, the state of California is out of the way from that weather system to the north. There is a disturbance pushing right through southwest Oregon at this time. Now, there could be a couple of showers developing over extreme North California in the next day or so, but generally, most of the Golden State looking at the typical summertime weather pattern. There'll be late night and early morning low cloud cover along the coast coming inland, and then it'll start to burn off for the afternoon. Look at all the clouds today. It's tough to get much in the way of sunshine from South Dakota all the way down towards Oklahoma, and then as you head east, the clouds covering a large part of the Ohio Valley and on up into western New York and Pennsylvania. Here's a close-up. That's Harrisburg, Philadelphia, Trenton, down to Baltimore. Now look at these thunderstorms. We have several distinct clusters. One southeast of Harrisburg as you head into northern York and Lancaster counties. Also as you go on up near Philly around Montgomery. Heading on up towards Trenton, Bucks County, we have some big thunderstorms. And then northeast of Baltimore, I believe that's Harford County. Those storms are tracking towards the northeast, so they will drop some very heavy rain, and most likely you'll be getting some hail out of these particular thunderstorms. Coming to the west, more thunderstorms in western New York and Pennsylvania, scattered all over Ohio. It's going to be quite a bit of rain today in Ohio. Now we're into Kansas City, St. Joseph, Missouri, Topeka, Kansas. Organized line pushing up through the Kansas City area. It looks like it'll start to taper off. It's probably already doing that. And then as we look on down to the south, you can notice other storms in the southeast corner of the state. Some of these have been locally strong with some very heavy rain and some gusty winds. And finally, over the southeast, flooding still a problem around Smith and Jones County in Mississippi, and some very big thunderstorms as you head down into east central Florida. Check the forecast for you. You notice tomorrow this front is going to push its way south into northern North Carolina. More wet and cool weather over the northern Rockies. Heaviest rains, though, focused from the plains into the Ohio Valley and from Florida back northwest into Mississippi. 80s and 90s in the deep south, cool 60s to the north today, and then back into the 50s tonight. It'll rebound into the 60s and 70s tomorrow. Your weekend outlook is sponsored by Long John Silver's Go Fish with Long John Silver's, where America goes for fish. As far as the temperatures are concerned, it's going to stay warm, stay humid over the south central and southeastern corridor of the nation. We're going to pull the 90s up into central Illinois for Saturday, and then Sunday going to bring it even farther north, right on up towards Erie, Pennsylvania, and Cleveland, Ohio. So a rather hot forecast there for Sunday before cooling off to start out next week. Here comes the rain. The jet stream is forecast to shift a bit farther north for the end of the week and into early next week. So we'll bring the rain across the northernmost plains into the Great Lakes. Sunday, that rain pushes through the eastern Great Lakes. This is a cold front stretched out here, works to the eastern seaboard. And then Monday, it looks like another pocket of wet weather redeveloping over western Montana and eastern Idaho.
Anytime, any place, go fish. Anyone, any taste, go fish. Any day, any night, any size, appetite. One place doesn't rhyme. Go fish.
At Long John's, get what you want any way you want it. From combo platters to baked meals, from value packs to $1.99 specials.
You can get your wish anytime. Go fish. Long John Silver's.
Go for one of our 3 great $1.99 specials. And don't forget to add a piece.
Go fish with Long John Silver's, where America goes for fish.
Ever watched the Weather Channel Florida forecast and wished you could be there? Your wish could come true with our Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes. Keep watching the Weather Channel for details on how to enter.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Say, that's a great-looking camera you have. Where'd you get it? No, don't tell me. One of those specialty camera shops. Wait, I'll bet it's a big-name department store. I'll bet it set you back a bundle.
Actually, no.
Introducing the Nippon 35mm focus-free camera. The hot shoe is synchronized for electronic flash, a 50mm lens, and a tripod mount. It also comes with a convenient neck strap, a deluxe leatherette carrying case, a professional 50mm sunshade, and a 2-year unlimited warranty. With all these features, you'd think this camera would cost over $100. Well, think again. Call right now, and the first 10,000 customers who order the Nippon camera will also get 100 rolls of free Kodak film with purchase processing. The simple, lightweight, and affordable Nippon 35mm camera and 100 rolls of free Kodak film with purchase processing. This no-fuss camera can be yours for only $19.95.
Say, where can I get one?
Just pick up the phone and call.
Heavy thunderstorms continue in Maryland and Pennsylvania, at Hartford County in Maryland to Lancaster County around Harrisburg, Bucks and Montgomery, moving all the way back to Berks County. Be prepared for heavy downpours, vivid lightning, and it looks like maybe some gusty winds. We'll keep you focused in on the action as you check out your forecast for today.
great cities: Rome, Paris, London. If you're traveling abroad or you have friends or family overseas, turn to the Weather Channel at 41 minutes past the hour for international weather and stay informed. Get forecast conditions and current temperatures and learn how changing weather conditions may affect your travel plans. Turn to international weather middays, 41 minutes past the hour, only on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do. So call this free number to find out how easy it is to train at home for a better career. At ICS, more than 10 million men and women have prepared for job promotions and new careers without setting foot inside a classroom. And now, at home, in your spare time, you can get your diploma or your degree. Choose from any one of these courses: high school, TV VCR repair, computer programming, electrician, animal care specialist, auto mechanics, bookkeeping, legal assistant, interior decorating, drafting, hotel restaurant management, learning the personal computer, electronics, or get your degree. You can major in business management or accounting. Make this important call right now.
Call now for the free information William Shatner spoke about. Then decide if you want to train at home for a better career to make more money. Call 1-800-272-8800. There's absolutely no obligation. That's 1-800-272-8800 for free career information. Call now. 1-800-272-8800.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. Thinking about refinancing your home? Even if you've been late on some payments in the past, you can still refinance your first mortgage and get today's low rates at the Money Store. Because the Money Store looks at your total credit picture. They won't automatically disqualify you for some late payments. And you can apply by phone with no application fee. So even if you've been late on some payments, you can still refinance your first mortgage. Call the Money Store at 1-800-944-7198.
Oh, some son I have, ringing me in the wee hours from America. He saves money, I lose sleep.
Avoid international incidents. Introducing the most worldwide from Sprint. The only calling plan with just 2 12-hour calling periods, so it's convenient to call and save.
Oh, you hung up?
Get the most worldwide. You'll rest easy. And so will your relatives.
Now get $50 free long distance with the most worldwide. Only from Sprint.
Let's check your international weather, and the satellite view today shows once again big swirl of low pressure over far eastern Europe. Now we have plenty of clouds, wind and rain here in the eastern sections of the continent. Another disturbance coming through France, and then the list goes on. Back here there's another storm getting organized well west of the British Isles, but it appears to be heading in that direction. And as you'll see with our forecast in a moment, that will certainly pan out. 64 at Shannon, 72 at Stockholm, as well as Nice, and 77 at Barcelona currently. One trough of low pressure here, kind of a wind shift line. Southwest winds ahead of it, then west and northwest winds behind that line. Here comes that next weather system approaching the British Isles with more cloud cover and eventually the rain shortly thereafter. 50s in Ireland tomorrow and Scotland, 60s rest of Great Britain, 80s, 90s, and even some 100s expected in southern Spain. But as you head east, because of all the cloud cover tomorrow, we're going to hold it way down into the 60s for most locales, including Brussels, variably cloudy upper 60s, variably cloudy also in Rome, but much warmer with highs in the upper 70s, and we have partly cloudy expected in Paris. Select the latest forecast for your destination from close to 300 more international cities. Just 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
Test the water before you hit the beach. Select from over 150 beach forecasts. 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
The people at Canterbury Clocks realized that to grow, they had to switch gears. So Joe called Microsoft and asked for this free video for Lotus and WordPerfect users. The timing was perfect. He saw how upgrading their software could save time and effort. How with Microsoft Excel they could add profits. And chart their progress. Word for Windows showed them how to communicate clearly and emphatically with their entire organization. Now Canterbury Clocks has more time to build their business. And Joe, he got a big hand. Millions of people like you are making the switch. So call for your free video and see for yourself how Microsoft Excel and Word for Windows are changing the face of how business does business.
You're watching the Weather Channel for accurate forecasts at your convenience. Weather you can always turn to. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Imagine playing beautiful melodies the moment you touch the keyboard. Introducing Play the Piano Overnight by Patty Carlson, the amazing home video course that guarantees you'll play beautiful music the very first time you sit down. The secret shortcut method makes playing the piano as easy as dialing the telephone.
I had a good time. I didn't know that piano lessons could be so much fun.
I said play the piano overnight. Come on, me? That's ridiculous. But I watched the tape, and the next day I was playing the piano.
Over 200,000 satisfied people bought the Play the Piano Overnight video for $59.95. But now you get the videotape, audio cassette, and finger charts, all for the incredible low price of only $19.95. That's a $40 savings. We guarantee you'll play the first time you sit down, or you get a full refund. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-544-1888. Have your credit card ready. It's $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling to this address. You'll get the Play the Piano Overnight videotape, audio tape, and fingering cards for just $19.95. Order now and save $40.
We'll begin by having a look in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, where we have a tropical wave. It was formerly classified as a strong tropical wave. Not quite so strong now, but nevertheless it is increasing showers quite a bit over about the southern half of Florida, over Cuba, and then there's a little break, and then some heavier showers down around, well, moving now into the northern part of Guatemala and into the Yucatan Peninsula, and that'll be moving on across the Yucatan and on out into the Gulf of Mexico in the next day or so. Right now, we don't see any sign or that's getting better organized, and we don't think it's going to, certainly not in the next 24 to 36 hours. As we go out now across the Atlantic Ocean, we had quite a strong wave come off the coast of Africa overnight. There it was right on the coast and moving on out here, and the clouds are getting a little bit less concentrated as it does move on out. And then we have a tropical wave about to come into the Windward Islands. There you see it right there, from about Barbados down into the Grenadines and Grenada and down into Trinidad. Some pretty good showers we expect to see there during the next day or so. No sign of any development there either, though, so we don't have to worry about a depression developing. We don't think. Out in the Pacific, about 1,020 miles, 1,030 miles southwest of Cabo San Lucas, we have a new depression that is moving toward the west-northwest about 13 miles an hour. That's getting better organized right along, and we think that very likely will be a named storm sometime
later on today. We can put this in motion and show you what the motion has been. So it's more than 1,000 miles from Baja, California, and it's about 2,500 miles from Hilo, Hawaii. So folks in Hawaii won't need to worry. Not yet, anyway. That's the tropics. Now here is Dennis Smith with your Good Afternoon Forecast.
Thank you, John. It's time once again to focus in on our Good Afternoon Forecast, which is sponsored by mountain-grown Folgers Coffee. Folgers, the best part of waking up. We're going to wake you up this afternoon with some active thunderstorms, maybe rumbling out the windows with some gusty winds, a lot of thunder rumbling, and maybe some heavy downpours. We'll keep an eye on the action anywhere from the Rockies spilling into the area of Pennsylvania, New Jersey. In fact, we're going to have a radar shot out of the Pennsylvania area in just a second to show you what's going on. But a severe thunderstorm watch out for areas of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, southeast New York, including the Baltimore area, down through Virginia and even Delaware. So we'll keep an eye peeled to this immediate area for the possibility of some strong and severe thunderstorms. In fact, the radar vantage point of that area still detailing a lot of thunderstorms cropping up just north of Philadelphia, up through Montgomery, Bucks County, Berks County, Lancaster, and Hartford County. So be prepared for some heavy downpours there. Look at the forecast. Again, the front working its way from the plain states, the mid-Atlantic area seems to be parked there. So expect to see more showers, more thunderstorms building up from the Carolinas out into the plains. Some of the rainfall amounts, unfortunately, very heavy over already saturated ground, may induce some flooding. Looks like highs steaming into the 90s, 60s northern plains, cool in the northwest again tonight.
At 5 a.m., all the Millers can think about is that first get-you-going cup of coffee. That eye-opening, fill-the-kitchen aroma of Folgers Crystals. It all begins with mountain-grown beans, fresh brewed, then crystallized, for a deep, dark, rich coffee just waiting to become your welcome to the day. There's no other coffee that kicks off the Miller's morning like Folgers Crystals.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
I didn't seem to see too much savings.
But I do remember them telling me that I had made a great choice.
But it just didn't work for me.
I guess I had to learn the hard way.
Have you heard? Now AT&T could save you more than MCI or Sprint. If you spend $40 a month, you could save 25% off our basic rates on calls to your favorite area code and 15% off calls everywhere else anytime. Great prices, another part of the iPlan. Switch now, it's free. Just call 1-800-874-4300.
Service is a big feature with me.
Service is the key. I switched back to AT&T, had the service that they're obviously known for. So back to AT&T.
I just really wasn't that happy with it, so I switched back for free.
AT&T's the only choice.
I can't go wrong with AT&T.
Prices that could beat MCI or Sprint, plus the best customer service. I is for individual. It's why so many people are switching to AT&T.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Avoid unpleasant surprises when you travel. Watch international weather, accurate weather forecast for Europe at 41 after the hour, every day on the Weather Channel.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers.
Flood watch for many areas as we head into the plains today. Now, as we zoom on in there to Missouri, west central, southwest, and then heading back into just about all of Kansas except the northwest corner of the state. This is where the flood watches are in effect right now. We've also had some flooding not only in the plains, but as you head south into Mississippi, around Jones County and Smith County. Some very heavy rains over the past couple of days have made the soil very saturated. Now, there's a large area threatened by severe weather today, including this part of the northern Rockies. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, parts of the lower Hudson Valley, the Baltimore, Washington vicinity, and then coming down into some of these counties in north central and northeastern Virginia. There's a look at your gusty winds today, focused over the interior sections of southern California and also into adjacent southwestern Nevada. Show you another look at that radar close up in eastern Pennsylvania and Maryland. Tremendous thunderstorms. The cloud tops in some of these storms east of Harrisburg are now up to 56,000 feet.
For regional Michelin drivers reports, call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER.
Let it rain. Let it snow. You've got Michelin's new all-season MXV4. A luxury performance tire with a very special feature. Climate controlled. Michelin. Because so much is riding on your tires.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you because so much is riding on your tires.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. You're watching the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Channel. As we check the weather across the country, we find very little change in what we've seen through most of the summer. Hot in the east and down to the south as well, southwest. Very cool in the northwest and out to the northern plains. They've been experiencing temperatures in June and so far in July of anywhere from 5 to 10 to 12 degrees below where they should be for this time of year. It was kind of cool again this morning. We had some record lows through here. Cutting the difference, the jet stream right through here, and it's been following almost the same path, and that brings the storms one after another traipsing over the flooded Midwest and giving them way too much rain. As a matter of fact, here you see the dark green shaded and the blue. That indicates anywhere from 400 to 800% of their normal rainfall for June so far in the first 2 weeks. So it has been heaviest right through the Mississippi Valley, back through Kansas, also up into Montana. I haven't heard a lot about flooding up through there, but they have had a very wet July as well. Meanwhile, the south, trying to get a little bit of rain in there. We've had hit or miss showers. If you are a homeowner and trying to get some rain on your lawn, you may not be real thrilled because it hasn't been real persistent. Out west, it's been very dry as well, although they had a lot of rain the first part of the year. So far in June, as you might expect, it's been a little on the dry side. All right, let's take a look at the satellite picture, and that'll show us the cloud cover again today from the Texas Panhandle up through Illinois. So same spots, at least cloudy, if not raining. And we haven't seen too many thunderstorms in the southeast as of yet, just Mississippi and Florida. And we'll get a closer look at those in just a moment. All righty, there's where the rain is. Again, Panhandle of Texas, some fairly heavy thunderstorms around Altus, Oklahoma, and just south of Des Moines today, where they were really hit hard yesterday with the heavy rains again. And of course, the folks in Des Moines, the water treatment plant is out of commission for the time being. The water has been contaminated, so they do not have running water or clean drinking water. It's being shipped in, most times from out of state, for 250,000 people. A lot of problems in Des Moines. And at least on the south side of town today, they're getting a few more sprinkles of rain. So you keep thinking like it can't get any worse through here, but unfortunately the rains continue, so we just find more and more problems. Some of the areas that were not hit too hard up until yesterday, all of a sudden now they're getting the flooding as well. And yesterday it was really Missouri that had the heavy rain, especially in the northern part of the state, and they're still getting quite a bit of rain today, although it doesn't appear to be quite as heavy as it was yesterday. That is reserved for down south of Hobart over towards Childress, the dark green shading. The yellow indicates the heavier downpours and some thunderstorms here, working to the northeast about 10 to 15 miles per hour. We take you to Louisiana and Mississippi. Now again, they have not had the more persistent rains like they have had a little bit further to the north in the Mississippi Valley, but this week they've really had quite a bit of heavy rain. Started about 4 days ago. We have an upper level disturbance here that's sort of just been sitting and spinning and creating the heavy rains, especially around Jackson, Mississippi. They're getting some showers again today over towards Meridian, down towards Gulfport. Again, it's scattered. It's not real heavy right at the moment, but they're really not in need of more rain. Heavy thunderstorms around Baton Rouge this past hour, and just in the past couple of days in this area, we've had reports of anywhere from 5 to 7 inches of rain. So, looks like another wet one for Mississippi and Louisiana. Down through Florida, see a lot of heavy rain, especially out over the Bahamas and over the open waters. At this time of year, a lot of times you'll find thunderstorms over land, but you can still get out on the boat and go out over the open waters and find clear skies. Not today. There's a tropical wave out there. It's the same one that brought heavy rain to Puerto Rico over the weekend. It has as much as 10 inches of rain and some pretty serious flooding problems, as you might expect. Okay, in Puerto Rico now, the wave is moving on. It's very disorganized. It's not expected to develop, but it is enhancing the rains through Florida today, so that's why you're really getting soaked around Daytona to Orlando, especially heavy right now around Avon Park. Big thunderstorms in that area, and they've been sitting there for about 2 hours now, just moving real slowly northwestward at about 10 miles per hour. So there probably will be some minor flooding problems, some ponding on the roadways, and maybe some of the ditches and low spots filled with some water. So there could be some heavy downpours reducing your visibility here. And looks like throughout the day it's going to be a little bit more rainy this afternoon for Florida. Further to the north, we have a frontal system sitting right about through here, and now the thunderstorm is starting to pop up. Rain around Niagara to Buffalo, back towards Erie, Pennsylvania. It has broken up for the time being, and the thunderstorms are really building around Allentown, around Philadelphia. There is a severe thunderstorm watch for this area. It's just been issued within about the past half hour, in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. Heavy downpours. We've already had reports of wind gusts to 50 miles per hour with these storms that are now heading on through New Jersey, working eastward at about 20 miles per hour. So possibility of severe weather through here. Have to keep an eye on it. Temperature-wise, not as bad in the east. Still a little warm and sticky. Coolest readings, northern plains, to the northwest. Let's see how it changes with the forecast. Well, that first area of low pressure that brought the heavy rain yesterday to Iowa, this afternoon already over into Pennsylvania. Next one kind of taking up the slack and bringing the rain right back in. It looks like at least scattered showers and thunderstorms in the Mississippi Valley again tomorrow and across the southeast. Heaviest rain in the dark green shaded area, and that could be as much as 3 inches, and we may see more flood warnings or at least watches issued later this afternoon. South of the front, hot weather, 90s. North of it, cool 60s. And looks like it'll drop into the 50s and 40s, and maybe we'll see a few more record lows again tomorrow morning. Basically, the hot weather really hangs on in the south. As we see that next front push in here, we may see a little bit of a warm-up again in the east, especially as we hit Sunday and into Monday. The 90s trying to come back in there. Alrighty, how about the rain? Well, looks like more wet weather, unfortunately, for the plains, for the Mississippi Valley, for Friday and Saturday. Clearing out Sunday, and keep your fingers crossed. At this point, looks like we'll have at least a couple days of dry weather through here.
Here's straight answers to questions about your hearing.
Sure, I ask people to repeat themselves. Does that mean I have a hearing problem?
One way to find out is to take Beltone's free 10-step hearing test.
Beltone's 10-step test will tell you what you're hearing and what you're not. If you want straight answers about your hearing, the choice is clear. Beltone.
Call 1-800-733-2600 for your free Beltone Guide to Better Hearing and Hearing Test coupon.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Weather Channel Florida forecast and wished you could be there. Your wish could come true with our Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes. Keep watching the Weather Channel for details on how to enter.
Before you think of heading out to the beach in the northeast, we want to let you know that there's not really a problem with the winds unless you find yourself around a thunderstorm, and there are some pretty big ones now right around Philadelphia, cutting across New Jersey and heading eastward at about 20 miles per hour. So coastal New Jersey may see some stormy weather within the next half hour to 1 hour. Those thunderstorms are producing not only heavy rain but wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. So could be kind of a rough go of it through here this afternoon. Probably a little bit better up around the Cape and coastal Maine. Again, light winds, a lot of sunshine out there. We'll call it partly cloudy for this afternoon. Water temperatures are nice and warm at this point. 74 off the coast of New Jersey and 81 around Virginia Beach, looking good. Thunderstorms, however, coming back across the Great Lakes throughout this afternoon, and they'll be hit or miss across the south again, especially heavy today down through Florida. Again, water temperatures not a problem through here. Most places in the 80s, well into the 80s. And as long as you avoid the thunderstorms, the winds should not be a problem, about 5 to 15 miles per hour. No advisories through here, although they're maybe a little choppy in some of the inland waters. Windy with small craft advisories in northern California. A lot of sunshine here, but some clouds further to the north.
Some of the biggest talk on Wall Street isn't what stock to buy, it's where to buy it. On a trade of 200 shares at $25 a share, Waterhouse Securities charges just $35 in commission. Merrill Lynch, $129. Charles Schwab, $89. Quick and Riley, $60. In fact, Waterhouse saves you 70% across the board from current stock commission rates. Call this number now for a free brochure comparing rates and services. We'll execute your market orders as fast as 6 seconds.
provide free S&P stock reports. 500 no-load mutual funds. We're a member of the New York Stock Exchange, serving over 300,000 customers in 40 offices nationwide. And when you open your account, you'll receive free this S&P stock guide profiling over 5,300 companies. So before you buy your next stock, think about where you'll buy it. Call Waterhouse. Get your free brochure comparing rates. Start saving commissions now.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
I got tired of talking about feeling fit, so I decided to do something about it. The hard part was putting the shoes on again. The easy part is eating Wheaties. It's made with 100% whole grain. Most cereals aren't. And Wheaties is a low-fat energy source. That's important. The kids made fun of me at first until they realized I could catch them easier, right? Right. I just like it when I feel more fit. That's why I'm getting into Wheaties.
If you're doing some traveling today, there could be some problems on the roadways, mainly due to heavy rain. We've had a lot of that recently. First off, the national radar will show you again today, unfortunately, just south of Des Moines. We're breaking out into some rain showers, and there's some thunder out there as well. Down into Missouri, that was really soaked yesterday. We've had reports of anywhere from 5 to 6 inches of rain in parts of Kansas, especially heavy around Slidell. Or make that Salina, excuse me. Down into Oklahoma, strong thunderstorms back around Hobart towards Childress. Down along the Gulf Coast now we're picking up heavy thunderstorms as well, and they're breaking out in the northeast. So just about anywhere you want to go, there's a chance that you'll at least find some wet roadways. Flash flood watches out for all the deep, dark green shaded areas, and that may be expanded into the Ohio Valley and up through Pennsylvania as we continue to get the heavier rains through this afternoon. They may also see some severe weather all along our frontal system, so the dark red zone. And there is already a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of the northeast, including Philadelphia, where they're really getting pounded right now. Take a look at the latest radar. In that area, you can see strong thunderstorms. One batch has come through, another round coming in behind it. These are working eastward at about 20 miles per hour.
Test the water before you hit the beach. Select from over 150 beach forecasts. 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
The people at Canterbury Clocks realized that to grow, they had to switch gears. So Joe called Microsoft and asked for this free video for Lotus and WordPerfect users. The timing was perfect. He saw how upgrading their software could save time and effort. How with Microsoft Excel they could add profits. And chart their progress. Word for Windows showed them how to communicate clearly and emphatically with their entire organization. Now Canterbury Clocks has more time to build their business. And Joe, he got a big hand. Millions of people like you are making the switch. So call for your free video and see for yourself how Microsoft Excel and Word for Windows are changing the face of how business does business.
If you're about to travel, watch the 5-Day Business Planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-Day Business Planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Alrighty, time now for the Florida forecast. A little rainy out there today. Let's take a look at the big picture. First off, there's a lot of cloud cover, really from the Bahamas down through the Caribbean. A tropical wave that's very disorganized, not expected to develop, but nonetheless bringing in some pretty heavy rains. As a matter of fact, let's go in a little bit closer. Satellite picture, put this into motion. You can see big thunderstorm clouds now building north of Lake Okeechobee up towards Daytona Beach. You're in the clear around Gainesville to Jacksonville, although can't guarantee that that will last through this afternoon. It's going to be especially heavy rain out there today, and so far it's really been right along the east coast. And around Avon Park, big thunderstorms this past hour, maybe starting to break up a little bit at this point as they're drifting northwestward. Orlando, some heavy rain coming in up towards Daytona, and Miami will see its share of rain as well. So a little bit of extra rain this afternoon. That's probably our biggest problem. Water temperatures, no problems here. They're plenty warm. 83 Panama City. Look at Clearwater. 89, and we still have another month and a half where they'll continue to warm up just a touch. It looks like air temperatures are being held back a little bit due to the clouds and the rain. As a matter of fact, only 82 in West Palm, but more sunshine takes it to 90 in Panama City.
Would you play golf with this broken club? It could make you a better golfer than you ever dreamt possible.
Hi, I'm Al Geiberger, and I found an amazing golf club that can help you hit them longer and straighter. It's called the Medicus.
This unique hinged club monitors and grooves your entire swing. Come back too fast or use the wrong angle, and the Medicus breaks down to let you know it. Swing correctly, and it works just like an ordinary club. Use it in your backyard. Take it to the driving range. Even use it on the golf course. Medicus forces your club head into the right position.
It'll take strokes off of your game, and I promise you it'll improve your swing and you'll hit it further.
Medicus is yours for 3 easy payments of only $33. And if you call now, we'll send you this Medicus instructional video free. It's guaranteed to work for you, so order your Medicus today.
To order Medicus, call 1-800-767-3100 for only 3 easy payments of $33 plus $7.50 shipping and handling. That number is 1-800-767-3100.
While most of the heavy flooding has been further to the north along the Mississippi River, Mississippi itself has seen some pretty heavy rain the last couple of days. Take a look at the latest radar now in Mississippi and Louisiana, and we'll see some pretty strong thunderstorms again developing this afternoon, and really just the past hour or so really starting to blossom up towards Greenwood and Greenville. Jackson itself has seen some heavy rain, now working on our 4th day, I believe, of heavy rain through here. Meridian and down towards Lafayette and Baton Rouge, Slidell, Louisiana, a couple days ago ended up with 5 or 6 inches of rain. So they've had plenty of rain down through here. Don't need any more. Unfortunately, looks like you're going to get it through this afternoon. And we have had some sporadic reports of flooding here and there. And so some of the roadways definitely will be soaked, if not water covered. Further to the north, alrighty, here we are in Missouri with the heavy rains again, and now they're drifting northward, so southern parts of Iowa, again today, are seeing the heavy rain. Of course, they've had some very big problems up through Des Moines. So far, the rain really has been just to the south of Des Moines. Looks like now it may be starting to drift in. Heavy rains down through Missouri this afternoon and back into Kansas as well, and we are starting to get reports of some flooding again today. the weather now for the next 5 days, and I'd like to give you better news, but unfortunately it looks like at least some rain in the Midwest once again. We haven't been spared today. As a matter of fact, some pretty strong thunderstorms should continue to fire through Missouri and back into Kansas and up into Nebraska. Now we're starting to get a few reports of some flooding. Iowa, well, the southern part of the state seeing some rain now. It may drift a little bit further to the south later this afternoon. That's about the best we can do for you. Unfortunately, it looks like as this low works northeastward, there may be more rain in the forecast for Thursday. So I didn't quite get the break we were hoping for, but it looks like the beginning of next week that may come. We'll get to that in just a moment. Further to the east, looks pretty nice in the northeast. A couple passing thunderstorms this afternoon, but if you're up around the Cape or up in Maine, not too bad. In the deep south, no changes. Probably mid to upper 70s tomorrow morning, a lot of 90s tomorrow afternoon with an occasional thunderstorm to cool you off. A little bit heavier rain back into Texas and down into New Mexico. Now we're finally starting to draw up some of that monsoonal moisture and get the typical thunderstorms, then a little bit of rain that you see at this time of year in New Mexico and Arizona. In the northwest, well, they've been fighting for summer. We've had record lows the last couple of mornings. As we hit the end of the work week, looks like more clouds and more rain, so no record heat, that's for sure. We'll be happy just to get up to norms for this time of year. It doesn't look like we're going to make it, at least today. 50s and 60s expected. 60s, they should be about 75 in Seattle for this time of year. Haven't seen much of that recently. A lot of hot weather stays in the south, it looks like. It starts to build a little bit further to the north Saturday, and then we see it stretching into the northeast. So maybe another gasp of our heat wave one more time around New York City. As far as the rain goes, well, it'll still be scattered hit or miss thunderstorms in the southeast, pretty dry northeast. One more big batch of rain comes through Friday and Saturday along the Mississippi Valley, heading on out Sunday. So here you go. Looks a little bit better as we hit the first part of next week, maybe some dry weather.
The difference between these two contact lenses? They're the same prescription, the same brand name, but this lens cost 50% less and was delivered by Federal Express right to my front door. That's the Lens Express difference. Great savings and great service. Hi, I'm Linda Carter. I wear contact lenses, and I wouldn't trust these eyes to just anyone. I call Lens Express and get my replacement contacts delivered to me the very next day. It's terrific.
Call for this free Lens Express catalog. It's full of savings on contact lenses. All the top brands like AccuView, Ciba, Bausch & Lomb, Wesley Jessen. And because they're sent directly to you, you'll save up to 50% off the retail price.
I trust these baby blues to Lens Express. Look closely, and you'll see one very satisfied customer.
Now you can replace your contacts as often as your doctor recommends and save. Call for a free Lens Express catalog.
Well, we've given you the forecast for the lower 48. Now, how about Alaska and Hawaii? First, we want to take you back to yesterday. These would look like typical afternoon highs in Hawaii, but this was Alaska. Bettles, Alaska at 90 degrees. Barrow, we want to point out, is 79 yesterday. That's their all-time record high. I've never seen a hotter day than this. A lot of folks out barbecuing, we have heard. Their normal high this time of year is 45 degrees, so this was a far cry from that. And it looks like today they'll be above normal, but not quite as warm, about in the 60s. Take a look at the satellite picture and we'll see what's going on out there. And they have mainly clear skies, some cloud cover coming up around Barrow, which is right up here, over 300 miles north of the Arctic Circle, seeing upper 70s. That is warm. A little bit of cloud cover today, though, and some rain showers. Closer down into Hawaii, they have a lot of cloud cover as well. These are mainly thin, high clouds, but they may see some rain this afternoon out of these. Take a look at the surface map, and you'll see our storm system to the west of Alaska and frontal system cutting across the state.
Ever watch the Weather Channel Florida forecast and wish you could be there, relaxing under a palm tree in the sun? Your wish could come true by entering the Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes, brought to you by the Weather Channel and by Damp-Rid Moisture Absorber products. One lucky family of 4 will jet away to the Walt Disney World Dolphin, a luxurious tropical fantasy land located in the heart of the Walt Disney World Resort in Central Florida. Explore the fanciful dolphin and all the magic of Disney. Epcot Center, the Disney MGM Studios theme park, the Magic Kingdom Park, and more. To enter, write your name, address, and phone number on a 3x5 card and send to Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes, P.O. Box 104, Dallas, Georgia 30132. Early entrants will receive a free Magic Disc Air Freshener from Damprid. Make your wish come true. Enter the Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes. Then tune in daily for the Weather Channel Florida forecast. Brought to you this summer by Damprid Moisture Absorber products.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Is the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
Well, the weather pattern's still seeming to resist change at this point, which means more cool weather in the northwest. Record lows again this morning in the 40s and even 30s. 36 Klamath Falls, Oregon. Not been the best of summers through that neck of the woods. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, it was hot again yesterday afternoon. That's when these records are from. 100 tied the record in Baltimore. Of course, they had the All-Star game last night, so a hot one for the folks out there. Through West Virginia, got well into the 90s and mid-80s. Even up in Alaska, they had record heat. Take a look at this, 90 in Bettles, Alaska. Fairbanks, 88. To reach the record today, they have to get up to 90 degrees. Let's see how they're doing so far. Take you up to Alaska for current temperatures. And there they are, 57 in Barrow. Well, it's not as bad as it was yesterday, or maybe not as good, depending on your point of view. The normal high is 45, so as it got up to 79 yesterday for their all-time high, it may have been a little too hot for the local residents. There we are, Fairbanks, 72 degrees. Again, they have to get all the way up to 90 to hit the record today. It is warming up considerably. This is well above normal for this part of the country. but no records as of yet. We'll continue to watch it. In the lower 48, we've been dealing with a heat wave of our own, especially along the eastern seaboard. Still plenty hot in Washington, D.C., 94 degrees right now, 88 in Atlanta. A few more clouds around today. Scattered thunderstorms developing in the southeast, and Jackson, Mississippi, 75. They have been in the 70s through most of the week with a lot of heavy rain. They can't seem to escape it at this point. An upper level low, a little disturbed air right through there has kept the thunderstorms firing, and they've had some flooding problems of their own. Of course, further to the north is where it's been especially wet, and they're getting some light rain just south of Des Moines, where it is now 72 degrees. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite picture in the northeast, and you're enjoying some sunshine for the time being through southern New England, New York City, but you get down to Philadelphia and they have some pretty big thunderstorms, and all of this cloud cover off to your west should be pushing in by tomorrow. So a wet day in the northeast, it looks like, for tomorrow afternoon. Even today, chance of seeing some thunderstorms. They're spreading in through New York State. They're scattered in western Pennsylvania, and at this point especially concentrated right around Philadelphia and moving into New Jersey, with severe storms reported in Gloucester and Salem County. Severe thunderstorm warnings now in New Jersey. As the thunderstorms have been moving through this area, they've had wind gusts over 50 miles per hour and some quarter-size hail. So severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 this evening, and we'll watch for some stronger thunderstorms developing right along this frontal system and working eastward about 20 miles per hour. If you have the sunshine, enjoy it. Looks like tomorrow's your day to get the rain. Further to the south, well, things are not changing much here. It's been very hot and sticky. We haven't seen as many record highs the last couple of days. We may see a few today, but just pretty much typical summer stuff, with some afternoon thunderstorms now developing in Kentucky and Tennessee. As I mentioned, the heavier rain, the more concentrated, persistent rains have been in Mississippi and Louisiana. And then today down into Florida, it's been rather rainy as well. Reason being, we've had a tropical wave out there. We've been watching, working its way northwestward through the Caribbean. It's not really developing. It's pretty disorganized, but it is really bringing the heavier rains into Florida today, from Orlando to Avon Park right at the moment. Looks like a kind of a soaker, especially along the east coast. Now we go into Mississippi. Jackson getting the rain again over towards Meridian, working northwestward. No real big thunderstorms, but we have had more reports of flooding. Now flash flood warnings out for the counties just to the east of Jackson and Mississippi. Further to the north, it looks like we're dealing with the rain again today. Southern Iowa picking up some heavy downpours. Missouri saw the heaviest rain yesterday, and Kansas got a pretty good dousing as well. And today they're getting another round of soaking rains. You have to head about as far west as central Colorado to break out into sunshine again, and then it's pretty much in the clear. Status quo weather for the southwest. The only part of the country that has not been dealing with anything out of the ordinary. Just sunshine, dry weather, pretty typical temperatures for this time of year. Looks like you'll hang on to that, although we may see a few thunderstorms developing in New Mexico and Arizona again this afternoon. It's about that time of year. Alrighty, the heavy batch of rain moves to the east. Here's the next area of low pressure along the front. That may bring the rains back in, or at least keep them going through the Mississippi Valley. They'll be scattered through tomorrow afternoon, but any rain at all, of course, is bad news at this point. And it will be heavy in the dark green shaded area, as much as an inch, possibly as much as 3 or 4 inches. We've certainly seen that. South of the front, a lot of hot and sticky air all the way up to New Jersey, maybe a few 90s. Of course, the 60s really hanging in there. June and July so far have been well below norms for this time, or at this point, from the Dakotas back through Montana and the Northwest as well. And there may be a few more record lows out there actually tomorrow morning as we see 30s and 40s. So the weather pattern doesn't change much, especially temperature-wise, till maybe this weekend. At this point, the front comes in here, pushing eastward. That'll warm it up a little bit in the east. So Ohio, pretty good chance we'll see some 90s. New York City and even Hartford, Connecticut may see the 90s by the beginning of next week, while the plains start to warm up a little bit. First, we have to get rid of some rain. Another soaker Friday into Saturday. And then, keep your fingers crossed, there could be some good news out there as this batch of rain works to the northeast, find a high pressure zone coming in. So temperatures will warm up, and we actually, believe it or not, have some dry weather in the forecast at least to start next week. It'll just be isolated thunderstorms in the Rockies and scattered thunderstorms, maybe some fairly strong storms in the northeast. So we'll have to keep an eye out there for the possibility of severe weather. Stick around, we're going to take a look at international weather, and we'll also take you down to the tropics with John Hope. That's coming up in about 15 minutes.
We make so much more than our parents ever did. And they bought a house, took vacations.
That was then. Things are different now.
So how are we going to do it?
Get the Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Personal Finance. The guide will help you with important information you need to know. Get 10 weeks of the journal for just $36 and your free copy of the Guide to Personal Finance. Call 800-626-8500. That's 800-626-8500.
Avoid unpleasant surprises when you travel. Watch international weather, accurate weather forecast for Europe at 41 after the hour, every day on the Weather Channel.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. The regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
If you're between 45 and 75, listen to this message about guaranteed life insurance for less than $1 a day.
Patty said Dad's funeral cost over $5,000?
It was even more than that with all the other expenses.
It's good Dad had that extra life insurance from the Mutual of Omaha companies.
I don't know what I would have done.
That's why Tom and I bought those guaranteed life policies. We didn't even have to take a physical.
You can get guaranteed life insurance for less than $1 a day. If you're 45 to 75, you can't be turned down or canceled. As you grow older, benefits won't decrease and rates will never increase. Don't wait. Call the Mutual of Omaha companies now, toll-free, to receive free information on guaranteed coverage. Review it in the privacy of your own home. And there's no risk or obligation. Call 1-800-351-9800 now for your free information. That's 1-800-351-9800.
Severe thunderstorms are now firing up in the Northeast. As a matter of fact, a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued, including New York City down towards Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. as well. The latest radar shows us the strongest storms right now around Philadelphia.
Prepare for severe thunderstorms and flash floods with these safety tips from the Weather Channel. During a severe thunderstorm, stay inside. Avoid the phone, windows, sinks, or bathtubs. If you're outside, avoid tall trees, fields, water, small isolated sheds, or metal objects. If you're in a hardtop car, stay there. During flash flooding, leave low-lying areas and stay away from storm drains or irrigation ditches. Depend on the Weather Channel for weather warnings and the most accurate forecasts 24 hours a day.
Attention inventors. Receive free confidential forms and useful information on how to launch a new product, innovation, or just an idea by calling the Inventors Helpline in Washington, D.C. at 800-227-7000. Call now and you'll also receive a free brochure describing how you can participate in the invention process. Don't wait. Our free Inventors package will get you going in the right direction.
Call 800-227-7000.
Introducing the world's first voice-activated remote control, the VCR Voice.
Now you can program your VCR with simple voice commands. You just talk to your VCR voice and it records any program, anytime. Watch. 2, Thursday, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. I just program my VCR. It's just that easy. Call for free information on the amazing VCR voice. Call 1-800-VCR-VOICE. 1-800-VCR-VOICE.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. The intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
You've got to attack the courses.
It's not really that difficult to earn the name Goodwrench.
All it takes is all you've got.
Goodwrench, raising the standards of performance on the track and in your GM dealership.
See your local GM Goodwrench dealer.
Roaches. They keep coming back because they may be immune to your insecticides. So we developed new Combat Superbait insecticide. Both our lab and home tests prove no roach is immune. Here's how it works. Roaches take the bait back to their nest and start a domino effect. It keeps on killing for 3 months. We guarantee it or your money back. New Combat Superbait in the gold box. We've made a science of killing your roaches.
Take you over to Europe now, and we'll check the temperatures at this hour. 61 in Moscow, 59 Frankfurt. They've been dealing with a little bit of a cool spell. Paris, just 68 degrees, but look southward, down around Madrid, it's 93. And we'll check the satellite picture as we do so. We'll see reason for all of the cool air. We've had just a stream of clouds coming in here, and it's really been drawing the cool weather in behind this area of low pressure. So they've been dealing with not the best of summer weather. Unless you are out on the Iberian Peninsula, you can see no clouds there, full sunshine. Take a look at the forecast then for midday on Thursday, and we'll see that another front system is coming into the British Isles, so more wet weather here. They just seem to be tracking one after the other right across the continent. Temperatures, still a lot of cool stuff out there, 50s and 60s to the north. Looks like most of France, though, should warm back up, some 70s, even some 80s down to the south. And as you get to the interior regions on the Iberian Peninsula, don't be surprised to see the 100-degree mark. Athens, mid-80s, that's not bad for this time of year. A lot of clouds, low 60s is the best we can do in London. Mostly sunny and hot in Madrid, upper 90s. Rome, upper 70s, partly cloudy. And in Paris, partly cloudy.
Select the latest forecast for your destination from close to 300 more international cities. Just 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
Test the water before you hit the beach. Select from over 150 beach forecasts. 95 cents a minute. Call 1-900-WEATHER.
As you know, I'm not only the heckler president, I'm also a client. If your hair is thinning like mine was, call now for your free video.
The first thing my wife said when she saw it, that I looked 10 years younger. That was the first words out of her mouth. Not hello, not hi.
I feel good about myself when I get up in the morning. It's easy to maintain and manage.
In our free video, you'll see our clients up close and natural. Their new hair responding under any condition just like their own. Hair Club for Men has improved not only their looks, but also their lives.
If you're pressed for time, you're 15 minutes late, you got to catch up. Jump out of the shower, towel dry the hair, fix it with your fingers, you know, and get going.
It feels like it's been there all the time. That's how natural it feels. Even at the touch. You know, when I wash it in the shower, I don't feel anything, just hair. Lovely hair.
So call now for your free video on hair club developments in dealing with thinning hair. To help our clients, see how this free video can help you too.
You're watching the Weather Channel for accurate forecasts at your convenience. Weather you can always turn to. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Special regional information. The regional forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
With care and with planning. With life insurance from the Farmers Insurance Group, your money can grow for later on. Life insurance can help protect your family now as well. Farmers Life Insurance. For safety today and security tomorrow. Farmers Insurance Group. For life.
Do you ever look at the other side of your pictures? It should say Kodak on the back. Now, you got no Kodak paper back here. No color watch seal here. No seal? Who knows? I asked for jumbo print, but this is ridiculous.
Denture wearers, here's Jane Powell for Polident.
Worried about denture odor? You'll love new Mintier Double Action Polident. A new Mintier Double Action tablet that fights tough stains and controls denture odor. Try new Double Action Polident.
Look for a money-saving coupon for Double Action Polident in your Sunday paper.
Once again today, we don't really have anything in the tropics here in this part of the world that we need to be concerned about. We'll show you what we do have, that wave that we have followed for a long time now from way out in the Atlantic across the islands. Dumped 10 inches of rain on Puerto Rico a few days ago. Well, now we can see it from Florida across the western part of Cuba and down into the northwestern Caribbean Sea and about to go across the Yucatan Peninsula. We can focus in on that a bit closer for you. And we are seeing some pretty good showers out around Eleuthera and Grand Bahama and over into Florida now, and especially the southern half of the state. These showers that we see out here farther west aren't directly associated with that wave. That's a low in the upper atmosphere, and that's making some of those showers will be felt up in the Florida Panhandle associated with that upper low a little bit later in the day. And then we have yet another wave coming into the islands, into the Windward Islands. Barbados is right there, and up here we're looking at Guadeloupe, and down here Trinidad, Tobago, and so on. And those showers have begun already. Barbados reporting a shower this hour, but no kind of organization here, we're glad to be able to tell you. And looking at the very high pressures we have in the area, we certainly wouldn't expect to see any because the pressure isn't low at all and hasn't fallen any over the last 24 hours or so. Out in the Atlantic off the coast of Africa, we had a strong wave come off Africa last night. There it is right out here. Another one out here in the mid-Atlantic. And there's that same wave we spoke about just approaching the Windward Islands as we speak. In the Pacific now, we have a named, no, not a named tropical storm, but a tropical depression, just classified as a depression. Top winds at 35 miles an hour, centered over 1,000 miles from Cabo San Lucas. This is increasing in strength, and we think very likely it is going to be a tropical storm. Sometime, perhaps even this afternoon. If it is, the name will be Dora. That is the tropics for this time. Now back to Dennis Smith.
All right, thank you very much, John. We look at the strong and possibly severe thunderstorms the rest of the afternoon. We'd be focusing our attention on the Plain States all the way in the mid-Atlantic area. In fact, there's a severe thunderstorm watch out till 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Covers sections of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, southeast New York, down through Delaware, and also Maryland and Virginia. So be prepared. Some very heavy downpours have been going on around Philadelphia, now moving into southern areas of New Jersey. Temperatures will continue to boost on up there as well. 88 the New York City area, 95 Raleigh, Durham, Charleston, 90 at Little Rock, 90 at Dallas, 93 at Phoenix, well into the 90s, with heat indices climbing on up over 100 degrees, making the heat and humidity combination a deadly one. We look at the map, we're not going to see a whole lot of change on this frontal boundary. Looping from the plains to the mid-Atlantic area will once again be the firing or the breeding ground for more thunderstorms again tomorrow. Light rain and cool temperatures in the northwest, scattered thunderstorms and hot readings in the southeast, locally heavy amounts of rainfall as well. Hot 90s again this afternoon and warm again tonight.
I scream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream. We all scream for ice cream. Yeah! Thank you. Hershey's chocolate syrup.
You are here. He has the traveler's checks here. Think about that. Now think about this. American Express checks for two. The only traveler's checks that either of you can use. Don't leave home without them.
You can pick up your American Express traveler's checks for two at participating AAA locations.
Every few years, you're in the same tough spot. You've got to paint. Again. But first, you've got to scrape. Your extension ladder weaves and wobbles, and the eaves and overhangs are still ahead. Then you see your neighbor casually redoing his entire exterior with a garden hose. Why is it so easy for him and so hard for you? Your neighbor had vinyl siding from Sears installed on his house, and so can you. Call this toll-free number right now and take advantage of this special offer. Siding from Sears transforms all kinds of homes beautifully. Wood, stucco, brick homes. And look what vinyl coverings do for eaves. So call now, right this minute. And before you know it, you'll see your home from a completely new perspective.
Call 1-800-255-9200 for your free in-home consultation and estimate on vinyl siding from Sears. Sears installed home improvements have over 1 million satisfied customers and counting. Call now.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. The regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Ever watched the Weather Channel Florida forecast and wished you could be there? Your wish could come true with our Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes. Keep watching the Weather Channel for details on how to enter.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers. Four-letter word that's been getting a lot of mileage lately, and they don't want to hear about it anymore, and that's rain, and it continues to fall across much of the midsection of the country. Flash flood watches out for much of the state of Kansas, Missouri, moving up through Nebraska. Heavy rains overnight continuing to aggravate the problem with flooding there. Be prepared. I think the interstate should be wet, but secondary farm or county roads is where the real problems arise because they may be washed out in a few locations. Keep that in mind in your travel plans. Again, Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, as wet roadways will be dominating anywhere from the northern Rockies through the plains, mid-Atlantic area, and on a scattered basis in the southeast. Could be some strong thunderstorms packed in all that rain, type to put out some damaging wind, hail, heavy downpours. We're talking about if you're clipping down the roadway, you may need to pull over the side of the road, wait till things quiet down. That's the story along Interstate 95 this afternoon in the eastern corridor. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, down through Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware under a severe thunderstorm watch. Be prepared to pull over and wait till things quiet down. Pulling a boat or a trailer? In Southern California and Nevada, winds are quite brisk. Please be careful in those areas.
For regional Michelin drivers reports, call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER.
High-performance cars? Luxury performance cars? Family cars? Light trucks? If you've got the car, we've got the tire. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you, because so much is riding on your tires.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Regional conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Special regional information. The forecast for cities nationwide. Regional forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen. You're watching the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
A weather pattern of historical proportions continues to dominate most of the United States. I'm Dennis Smith alongside Declan Cannon this hour with a persistent summer pattern that's driving the jet stream across the California coastline, zipping into the upper Midwest, allowing a lot of hot temperatures continue to settle in from Texas to the Northeast. There is some relief, as you'll see in our forecast for the Northeast, but unfortunately the heat and humidity will continue to dominate the southern states. This scenario also is setting up for a contrast between the very cool air, where in some cases Montana has been running in 50s and 60s for highs when they should be in the 80s this time of year, compared to the 90s and triple digits in the southeast. Set between those two is a lot of heavy rainfall with some very serious flooding. You've probably been hearing about it along the Mississippi and the Missouri River. In fact, concentrated just in the month of July alone. Check the legend here. We got at the bottom of the screen anywhere from 6 to 8 times normal rainfall in Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and even on up into Montana. So with all that water in a short period of time, like a 2-3 week, even a month period, has induced still some major flooding problems along the tributaries feeding into and including the Missouri and the Mississippi. Looks like flood stage is gradually, or at least the river's coming back, approaching flood stage in northern Iowa. But as you can see in the yellow shaded area, 5 to 10 feet above flood stage is the crested projections across central Missouri, Illinois-Missouri border, and on downstream from St. Louis, running as much as 10 to 15 to over 15 feet above flood stage. Serious flooding continues right adjacent to the river basins. Look at conditions as far as the latest map. There you'll be able to see thunderstorms rumbling again in the same general location. Flood warnings have been out across south central Kansas already today, with something like 7 inches of rainfall in Greensburg, Kansas, southwest Kansas, just in the overnight period. Additional thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast feeding on up into the northeast, and there is that prospect for strong and possibly even severe thunderstorms. You're staying close to home. Monitor the Weather Channel. Tune in occasionally to get the very latest update on any warnings, watches, or maybe even some radar presentations that'll help pinpoint the action for you. But you could find anywhere enclosed in red damaging winds, hail, heavy downpours. Type of weather gets a little rough if you have some travel plans. You may want to pull over the side of the road if it does get too rough for your driving skills. Severe thunderstorm watch out for portions of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia, as well as the Potomac and Chesapeake river base or area of the mid-Atlantic states right on through the afternoon. So we'll keep you focused in on that. And so you stay tuned to the Weather Channel for the very latest on that particular activity. Here's the latest temperatures. They're still cooking at the nation's capital. 94 in Washington, D.C., 95 at Raleigh-Durham, Charleston 95, 90 at Nashville, 90 at Little Rock, 90 at Dallas. Whew, is it cooking. 92 coming in from Las Vegas. Much cooler in the northwest. Look at this. 59 at Rapid City and 56 at Spokane. They're wondering when summer is going to get there. Meanwhile, it's still blazing a trail in the southeast. The current heat index, 104 in the nation's capital, 91 Atlanta, 100 at Houston. It looks like right on through Thursday, we're expecting caution to extreme caution. Some cases in the area enclosed in red, a dangerous scenario, so keep that in mind. The dominance of that high pressure, the Bermuda high, extending westward across the mid-Atlantic states all the way to Texas, resulting in mostly fair skies. However, popcorn thunderstorms do crop up once that weakens a little bit. We're starting to see that in Mississippi all the way into the northeast this afternoon. And again, a great deal of cloud cover, already flooded, saturated conditions in the plains. Unfortunately, parked underneath all that cloud cover is more rain. There's some sunshine, Wyoming to California, all the way down into Arizona that is seeing a little bit of a pattern shift as well. Usually they pick most of their rain up in July, and they've hardly seen anything this month. Thunderstorms erupting in the plains, the Ohio Valley moving to the eastern seaboard. The area flashing representing some of the heavier downpours in Florida, Mississippi, now curling up through Kansas, Missouri. Another batch moving on up into Iowa. Boy, they've seen a lot of rain lately, even showing up around Philadelphia, sliding into just south of Trenton. Some very heavy thunderstorms, putting out some heavy rainfall and dangerous lightning. Seesaw that front through the midsection of the country. Not a whole lot of change, and I know you've heard a lot of that lately in the weather patterns for the next 24 hours. So expect to find the plains to the mid-Atlantic area, the breeding ground for more thunderstorms. Western Texas, the deep south, and cool rains will dominate the northwest with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. They'll be experiencing some of that wet weather. Some of the rainfall amounts locally heavy, maybe some 3-inch amounts in the Missouri, Illinois area. Otherwise tonight, 60s and 70s for lows. 30s and 40s. Boy, I tell you, it's chilly in the northwest. Only highs in the 60s. But 90s bulging up through the midsection of the country, working their way back into the mid-Atlantic states. As we track into the weekend, watch the heat continue to remain in place. In fact, bulging a little bit farther to the north. Kansas, Missouri, not only are they suffering from all the flooding problems, now they got to deal with 90s and really stifling conditions out on the rivers. Triple digits southwest, 90s continuing to work their way up into Iowa. They're having a water problem in Des Moines because of the flooded waters in the treatment plant there. So they've been fortunate they've been in the 70s. Now in the 90s, the requirement for water is going to be very, very vitally important. It looks like 90s will continue to shift south and eastward as we finally find a cool front driving through the midsection of the country, pushing those 90s back to the southeast, replacing them with 70s, 80s, and even a few 60s. As far as precipitation, we'll slap some more rain in the upper Mississippi River Valley. Hate to report it, but that's the way we see it. Fortunately, that will shift on eastward, not stick around as long as this pattern has been over the last couple of weeks, and eventually start to dry them out over the weekend as thunderstorms and rain will gradually slip on southward. Line it up from Maine all the way back into Tennessee. Some more thunderstorms building out in the Rockies, even into the northwest with the cool regime there. Hot and sticky in the southeast with thunderstorms. But look, just the tip of the iceberg, hopefully a drying trend taking place in the upper Midwest.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. Thinking about refinancing your home? Even if you've been late on some payments in the past, you can still refinance your first mortgage and get today's low rates at the Money Store. Because the Money Store looks at your total credit picture. They won't automatically disqualify you for some late payments. And you can apply by phone with no application fee. So even if you've been late on some payments, you can still refinance your first mortgage. Call the Money Store at 1-800-944-7198.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. The regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Your local radar, showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Avoid unpleasant surprises when you travel. Watch international weather. Accurate weather forecast for Europe at 41 after the hour every day on the Weather Channel.
Well, if you plan on heading down to the coast, tomorrow afternoon looks pretty good. The winds are going to be up a bit, though. We're going to put them in the 15 to 25 mile per hour category. Likewise in the eastern lakes, but as we work over towards Lake Michigan and let's say central Lake Superior, perhaps you'll find some lighter wind speeds there. Lots of sunshine, courtesy of high pressure from the mid-Atlantic back into the northern lakes. 60s, 70s, some 80s as you head south towards the Tidewater in Virginia. And then we have mid to upper 80s in the eastern Gulf. And a little pocket of colder water apparently hovering around south coastal Texas. Temperatures there in the mid-70s. A lot of sunshine here in the Carolinas. Again, we pick it up west of the Mississippi as we go from Louisiana into Texas. Now, in between those two sun splotches, there is a chance you'll see some scattered storms, especially in the afternoon. At that time, these winds could pick up, but until then, let's say 5 to 15 miles per hour. From Big Sur south to Point Conception, some of the outer waters there south of the point, some gusty winds, some choppy waters. 50s for the water temperatures to the north, 70s as you head to extreme South California. Morning clouds will burn off.
This is an effort to reach men and women who served in the United States Armed Forces. It concerns an offer for honorably discharged veterans and their spouses ages 45 to 75. Please use the toll-free number to respond. Call now for free information on life insurance plans that cost just $1 a week. When you qualify, you lock in the highest possible benefit amount available to you. And these life insurance benefits are guaranteed never to go down. You are eligible to apply if you served during peacetime or war, active duty or reserves, or any service branch. You are also eligible to apply if you are the spouse or widow of a veteran. Call now. Remember, only veterans, their spouses, and widows ages 45 to 75 qualify for this exclusive offer. Term life insurance for just $1 a week. Don't wait. Call this toll-free number now to get free information from Veterans Life Insurance Company. Operators are standing by to take your call.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
You've got to attack the courses.
It's not really that difficult to earn the name Goodwrench.
All it takes is all you've got.
Goodwrench, raising the standards of performance on the track and in your GM dealership.
See your local GM Goodwrench dealer.
Seasonal Solutions is sponsored by your local GM dealer, who reminds you to insist on genuine GM parts.
You've been waiting all year for this vacation. Don't take a chance on it being spoiled by car trouble. Have your vehicle thoroughly inspected before you hit the road. A trip check should go beyond the basics. And the high-tech nature of today's cars means most of us will need an auto technician to handle the job. Choose a service outlet that you trust to handle any problems they discover. Their review should include visual inspections of these critical car parts and systems. Also ask for a tune-up if it's time. Prices for this kind of inspection vary widely, and some places will even waive the inspection cost if you need work done. The trip check isn't a guarantee against problems, but it definitely increases the chance that your vacation will roll along just the way you planned it. This Seasonal Solutions for vacation driving from the Weather Channel. It's getting rave reviews. The Philadelphia Daily News calls 1-900-WEATHER the best telephone weather service available. 95 cents a minute, 1-900-WEATHER.
Hey, want to see how AT&T could save you more than MCI or Sprint? No, really. First, go find your last phone bill. Trust me, it's worth it. You're not going to do it, are you? Okay, look at this bill. See, most people call the same way, to one area code, over and over. And this is just 1 month. Imagine a whole year. Well, if you spend $40 a month on long distance, AT&T will give you 25% off to that one area code you're always calling. Now, write down this number, 1-800-437-0966. It's how to get 25% off AT&T calls to any one area code you select any time of day. It's free. Plus, we'll give you 15% off the rest of your calls. So, like I said, AT&T could save you more than MCI or Sprint. And you didn't believe me. Call now for 25% off where it means the most. Just another part of the iPlan.
If you're about to travel, watch the 5-Day Business Planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-Day Business Planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Special regional information. The regional forecast. current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Seasonal Solutions is sponsored by Thompson's House and Deck Stain. Seal water out, seal color in.
Wood is a choice of many homeowners for the exterior of their homes. The entire home may be of wood or may just have wood trim or a wood deck. You just can't beat the rustic, natural look, but that natural beauty can take a beating from the weather and the elements. Rain and freezing temperatures, intense sunshine, heat and humidity can seriously damage exterior wood surfaces. What was once beautiful can become dry and cracked, warped, or mildewed. These surfaces need to be protected from the elements. A waterproof stain is your best bet. The most important tip to remember concerns the initial purchase. Investigate what's on the market. Look for a formula that actually contains an active waterproofing ingredient. Choose wisely and get the best. Consider it an investment. Staining exterior wood is one of those jobs you want to last and last.
When we chose a stain, I wanted a special color.
I wanted a stain that protects.
They both wanted Thompson Stain. In 100 custom colors, it's the only stain that contains Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofer. It waterproofs better than the leading brand's premium stain. Thompson Stain.
Denture wearers, here's Jane Powell for Polident.
Worried about denture odor? You'll love new Mintier Double Action Polident. A new Mintier Double Action tablet that fights tough stains and controls denture odor. Try new Double Action Polident.
Look for a money-saving coupon for Double Action Polident in your Sunday paper.
Thunderstorms continue to rumble across very saturated ground in Oklahoma, Kansas, as well as Missouri. Additional thunderstorms filtering on up into New York, the Ohio Valley, the Deep South, and all the way down into Florida. We'll take a closer look at all those areas and pinpoint Florida with some heavy downpours from Lake Okeechobee all the way up to around Orlando and Ocala. Additional heavy thunderstorms over Mississippi. The Magnolia State's been having some flooding problems. Smith and Jones County, all the way down through Rankin County around Jackson. That continues to be heavy rain there. Back up in Oklahoma and Kansas, additional heavy downpours continue. Again, just southwest of Orlando to Avon Park, all the way down to around Charlotte Harbor. Heavy downpours may be occurring. Be prepared for that. In the area of Mississippi, down through Louisiana, widely scattered thunderstorms, heaviest moving on up just north of Greenville. Here's what we see in the northern plains where they don't want to see or hear or talk about more rain. That's what they're seeing in Iowa, Missouri, and areas of Kansas. They continue to get belted with some heavy rains from Lamoni all the way back to around Lincoln, Nebraska, around Topeka, between Columbia and Vichy, Missouri. Continue to see heavy rain. New York, anywhere from Buffalo all the way down to Charleston in West Virginia. Heavy downpours continue, though, in an area of southeast Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, around the Burlington County area, Gloucester, as well as Camden County. Be prepared. Bucks, Chester, and Montgomery counties in southeast Pennsylvania. Very heavy downpours, frequent lightning. We're going to find some gusty winds out of some of these cells around Philadelphia, Trenton, all the way down to Atlantic City. Rough weather today.
Stop mildew damage. Stop mildew damage. Use Damprid, America's #1 moisture absorber. Mildew and musty odors are caused by too much moisture in the air. Damprid absorbs this moisture, so mildew cannot grow, and Damprid works. To remove existing mildew, use our Instant Mildew Stain Remover. Its low-odor, non-scrubbing formula is unsurpassed in both quality and price, and it works in seconds. Our family of quality Damprid products are available at fine stores everywhere.
Look for Damprid at these stores in your area.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. The regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Well, hallelujah for the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. It looks like help's on the way. We have to get through severe weather, at least this afternoon and this evening. Not everybody, but some areas in eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York City, lower Hudson Valley may see some severe thunderstorms. They've already had a few pop up on the radar, drop some very heavy rain and produce damaging wind gusts in parts of New Jersey. Now, the front itself, while it is a little bit on the snaky side across Pennsylvania, it'll get better organized and then charge through the mid-Atlantic tonight. Tomorrow morning, it should be lying right across the Mason-Dixon line on up towards New York City. And then during the rest of the day, it will continue its progress to the south. Now, what's helping the front move to the south is a change in the upper level winds. The jet stream pattern is shifting, and we're going to see a bit of a ridge of high pressure. In other words, the jet stream is going to take off a bit farther to the north into Canada, then turn to the south and come across the eastern Great Lakes in New England. That should help to push this front down to the south finally, and you'll get into some cooler and some drier air over the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. South of the front, though, more heat and humidity, and with those two weather elements, by afternoon, you'll be looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms, and we may see another pocket of storms developing over the southern plains. Now, while this is occurring in the east, the west, especially here in the northern and central Rockies, more cloud cover, more wind, and more rain expected. It's been unusually wet and cool over Montana late June and July, and it looks like this pattern is only going to intensify as we now head towards the second half of the month. Temperatures tonight will be in the 60s and 70s south of that front. Tomorrow we're looking for 80s over the Northeast, some 70s for northern New England. Won't that be nice? And then some 60s for daytime highs on Friday in northern Maine. The heat starts to build in the central plains. We're going to push the 90s into southern Iowa, most of central and southern Illinois Saturday. And then it looks like a kind of a quick shot of very warm air into Ohio on Sunday before some cooler 80s return to the region early next week. Showers and thunderstorms with the jet stream lifting north, heading farther north. It looks like the majority of the heavier rain is going to try to refocus here to the north. That band of rain pushes through the lakes during the weekend, and by early next week we could see some showers and storms over New England down to the lower Mississippi Valley, and it looks like some scattered showers and thunderstorms possible over the central and northern Rockies.
Christmas is coming, and so is your free gift with the Christmas at Home collection from Better Homes and Gardens books. It starts with this extraordinary 160-page treasury of new ideas, inspirations, and gifts from the heart. A beautiful way to bring your Christmas together starting now, and to create the kind of holiday your family will treasure for years to come. Plus your own deluxe Christmas Memories album, a keepsake that captures all the feelings of a special time together. And of course your favorite songs and carols are right here too. Real classics your whole family will love to sing along with. Call now to preview Christmas at Home, and will include classic Christmas cookies, a delicious new collection that's yours absolutely free. Our gift to you for simply calling today. You'll have 3 full weeks to use and enjoy the collection at no cost or obligation to buy. And if you wish to keep it, you can pay in 3 easy installments of just $9.95. Available only with this special TV offer.
Headed way to the north and way to the south, Alaska and Hawaii, as we look at the Pacific shot and see that most of the eastern Pacific is quiet. There is a little bit of a stormy pattern in the Aleutian with some cloud cover. Big storm right in here in the central Pacific, but all the way down the Hawaiian Islands, seeing some of that mid to high level deck of clouds blocking a little bit of the sunshine in paradise. Might find a few passing showers in all this mess. Mainly a mid to high level feature. They could use the rain in Honolulu. They've only seen about 1 2/3 inches when they normally should have about 12 by this time in a given year. Meanwhile, they've been seeing some rain in recent days in Lahui. They picked up about 2/3 of an inch yesterday. Look at the full Pacific shot, again on up into Alaska, where fronts scooted on through after yesterday a record-setting temperature at Point Barrow, not only for the day, but an all-time record high of 79, our normal high is 45. Seeing the Hawaiian Islands with that trough to the west, still some high-level clouds, maybe a few passing showers. 82 at Honolulu, Kahului 82, Hilo reporting 76. North to Alaska at 64. They have to get on up to 78 today to break the record. They had 79 yesterday. Fairbanks already up to 75. Juneau sitting at 69 in Anchorage, 62.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
Stamp, this is a legend.
When is a stamp not just a stamp?
When it's really cool.
A stamp is more than a stamp when it's worth hanging on to.
When it means something to you.
But stamps you want to hang on to don't hang around your post office long. So call for this free catalog. You'll find this year's best stamps, past favorites you might have missed, plus great gift ideas. Call for our free catalog now. So, when is a stamp not just a stamp? When is a stamp not just a stamp?
What are rocks, man? Woo! Yeah!
New rock and roll rhythm and blues stamps at your post office for a short time only, so step on it. Or call for a free catalog.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Current regional conditions. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. The extended forecast. Special regional information. The forecast for cities nationwide. The regional forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen. This is the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
Well, let's check the current weather for you, and then we'll have our forecast, which includes some heavy rain for parts of the nation's midsection, and also some cooler and some drier air coming into New England. As far as the temperatures at this hour, they range from the 90s from New York City all the way south towards the Gulf Coast, right around the Horn through Texas and into the Southwest. That's not all that unusual for this time of the year. We head north, we find some of the cooler air. It's in the 70s from Des Moines south to Kansas City. Rather chilly 68 at Grand Island in Nebraska, 65 at both Bismarck in North Dakota, and then Rapid City in western South Dakota. 71 at Casper. Been very cool and wet over Montana. At least just about all of the state so far this month with the way the upper level wind patterns have been. And as a result of that upper level wind pattern, we've also had excessive rain in the midsection of the country and also excessive heat and humidity in the southeast and occasionally on north into southern New England. Now here's our front today. It works from the New Jersey coastline, cutting back through low pressure east of Detroit, then kind of works its way on like a roller coaster into the southern plains. We've had very heavy rain over southeast Kansas today, yesterday, and last night actually. Southwest and central Kansas saw anywhere from 1 to as much as 7 inches plus from some of the heavy thunderstorms that developed. The front works its way back into west central Nevada, and it looks like we have a big pocket of cold air over the Pacific Northwest and the upper levels of the atmosphere. That actually helped stir up some scattered storms yesterday in the Seattle area. Some folks picked up over 3 inches of rain. We had reports of some hail from some of the storms early in the day in southwestern Washington. And today it looks like, again, lots of clouds sticking around. Let's take a look at our satellite view. Now we're getting reports of some thunder. They can hear the thunder around Spokane. Apparently some of these clouds getting a little bit better organized and building up more in the atmosphere. Lots of cold air, as we mentioned, so the air is rather unstable. And where we're getting some of the sunshine here east of the mountains, we do expect that to fill in with some developing cumulus clouds and eventually some thunderstorms. And you could get locally heavy rain, possibly some hail, as the air is very cold, about 25, 30,000 feet above the ground. That's usually the setup when you get some of the hail in the west. You'll warm the lowest levels of the atmosphere up, while as you go up to 20,000 feet or so, you have very cold air in comparison. There is a pocket of low cloud here just along the northwestern coast of California. Generally, we're looking at sunshine-filled skies over the valley, all the way south towards San Diego, getting quite a bit of sunshine, but coming on up north, south of Santa Monica, we still have some of the low clouds which penetrated well inland last night. A lot of those low clouds have burned off, but you can still see we do have a pocket of low cloud cover there over the inland valley. Look at all these clouds, and they just about cover the entire central plains, so we're not getting a lot of sunshine. Likewise, from the southeast on up towards the Ohio Valley and the mid-Atlantic, lots of tropical air here, so even if you're not getting a thunderstorm or a shower, still probably plenty of clouds out there today. Now, we've closed into the mid-Atlantic. I want to show you what's happening. That's Harrisburg, Allentown, Bethlehem, Trenton, Philly. Tremendous storms here. We had reports of some wind damage and gusts over 65 miles per hour in parts of central Jersey. Right there with those storms, they're heading out off the coast now. And we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of the New York City area, including Nassau County. Look at this storm west of Atlantic City. It's working on to the east and will drop some very heavy rain in southernmost New Jersey in the next half hour. Expanded view shows you the storms you're just looking at. More showers and storms in western New York and Pennsylvania. That's our cold front as it continues to work on east. That's our savior, too, because the front will work east and bring some cooler, but definitely some much drier air into the northeast. Again, more thunderstorms as you head into North Missouri, especially so in south Iowa. Appears to be a line of more intense storms there. And then look at all the showers and storms scattered about southern Ohio down through Kentucky and Tennessee. In fact, local severe storms around the Nashville, Tennessee vicinity within this past hour. This is Chanute, Kansas, Joplin, Missouri. That's the Missouri-Kansas state border. I wanted to show you this close-up because from Tulsa on north to Chanute, we do have several lines of big thunderstorms here, and this will drop quite a bit of rain in the same general area in southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma over the next couple of hours, so I suspect we'll be dealing with additional flooding in some parts. And then in the southeast, the concentration appears to be greatest over Florida, Mississippi, southwest Alabama, and then around the corner into Tennessee and Kentucky. So Georgia and the Carolinas, comparatively speaking, are not getting much in the way of thunderstorms today. Now, what about our forecast? Let's check it out for you. Over the next 24 to 36 hours, here comes the front, pushing down along the coastal plain into South Virginia tomorrow night, and with it, high pressure builds in for an absolutely gorgeous Friday coming up. Heaviest rains will be focused along that front this afternoon, and then into parts of southern Virginia perhaps tomorrow with the front as it moves into the south part of the state. 70s for the lows tonight. 80s in parts of the southwest, very cool 30s and 40s in the Intermountain West, and then back into the 60s and 70s tomorrow. The extended forecast, now we push the heat down initially Friday. Saturday and Sunday, some of the heat starts coming back up towards the northeast and southern New England to start out next week. And the majority of the heaviest rain is going to focus a bit farther north as it heads east into the Great Lakes.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. Thinking about refinancing your home? Even if you've been late on some payments in the past, you can still refinance your first mortgage and get today's low rates at the Money Store. Because the Money Store looks at your total credit picture. They won't automatically disqualify you for some late payments. And you can apply by phone with no application fee. So even if you've been late on some payments, you can still refinance your first mortgage. Call the Money Store at 1-800-944-7198.
Ever watched the Weather Channel Florida forecast and wished you could be there? Your wish could come true with our Florida Fantasy Sweepstakes. Keep watching the Weather Channel for details on how to enter.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. The regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Anybody thirsty? There we go. I had breast cancer and surgery didn't stop it. It became bone cancer. I was 42 years old and I wasn't sure that I'd see 43. I wasn't even sure how many more days like this that I'd get to spend with my grandchildren. What I was sure of is that I wanted a hospital where they didn't rely only on drugs and where they used nutrition to build up the body's own defenses. I came to cancer treatment centers in August of 1989, and what I was searching for, I felt they had. I was right. They always treated me with concern and kindness and never failed to be there for me.
Call us, Cancer Treatment Centers of America, 1-800-365-9233.
They made this day possible, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Strong thunderstorms continue to rumble from southeast Pennsylvania across central and southern areas of New Jersey. Be prepared for heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and maybe some gusty winds. We'll focus in on this area as you focus in on your forecast.
I'm Charles Kuralt, CBS News. From 25 years of wandering through America, I've collected my favorite stories in a new series of programs for the Travel Channel. It's a lovely trip. You're invited to come along. On the road.
Go on the road with Charles Kuralt every day at 1:30 and 10 Eastern on the Travel Channel. If you don't have the